Good morning students. So this is class 11th physics, and in this lecture I'll be discussing the homework solutions of lecture number 4, and I'll be giving you some more homework. Okay. So let us begin with the question number first of your homework.
Last lecture. Okay, so the first question is question number 24. It says the figure shows the position time graph of a particle of mass 0.04 kilograms suggests a suitable physical context for this motion. What is the time interval between these two consecutive impulses received by the particle, and what is the magnitude of each impulse? Okay, so first of all, see clearly here from 0 seconds to 2 seconds. The position time graph is a straight line. Okay, so let us calculate the velocity first. Okay, so now how to calculate the velocity? Just the slope of the position time graph gives you velocity. So x2 minus x1, that is 2 minus 0, upon t2 minus t1, that is 2 minus 0. So from here the speed will come to be 1 centimeter per second, or you can say 10 to the power minus 2 meter per second. Now again, for the motion from A to B, the graph is straight line but it is going downwards. So you can say for this, the final velocity will be minus 10 to the power minus 2 meter per seconds. Okay, so this negative sign shows you the reversal of direction of motion. Okay, so now this same graph is being repeated. So we can relate this to a situation if you have two walls which are situated at x is equals to 0 and x is equals to 2 centimeter, and a ball is repeatedly striking against those walls. Okay, so therefore every time it strike a wall, it will suffer some change in momentum. So we can say after every 2 seconds there will be impulse received by the ball. Okay, so now you have to calculate the magnitude of that change in momentum. And as you know, impulse is nothing but change in momentum. So that is mu minus mv. Now we have all these three values. So just put the values and you'll get the impulse to be 8 into 10 to the power minus 4 kilogram meter per second. Okay, so the next question is question number 25. It says there is a man who is standing on a horizontal conveyor belt that is accelerating in right direction with the speed of with the acceleration of 1 meter per second square. Okay, and the mass of the man is given to be 65 kilograms. Now in the first part you have to calculate what is the net force on the man. See, because the man is standing on conveyor belt, so he has the same acceleration as that of belt. So now you know the acceleration of man, so just use F is equals to ma. A is 1, m is 65, so the net force on the man will come to be 65 newtons. Okay, after that the question says if the coefficient of static friction between the man's shoes and the belt is 0.2, up to what acceleration of the belt can the man continue to be stationary relative to the belt? Okay, so now let us suppose A dash is that acceleration up to which man can remain stationary. Okay, so again F will be equal to ma. So before that let us calculate the force of friction due to this coefficient of friction. So now as you know, force of friction F dash is mu r, and r is nothing but mg, because mg will act downward and reaction will act upward. So from here F dash will come to be 0.2 into 65 into 10. Now if we are considering A dash to be acceleration up to which the man remains stationary, then this will be nothing but ma dash. Again m is 65 and we have to calculate A dash. 65 will cancel out, so you will get A dash to be 0.2 into 10, that will come to be 2 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration of the belt up to which the man can remain stationary on the belt. Okay, so the question number 27 says a helicopter of mass 1000 kilograms rises with a vertical acceleration of 15 meter per second. So let us suppose this is a helicopter which is rising in upward direction with acceleration a. Okay, so the question says the crew and the passengers weigh 300 kilograms. So the mass of helicopter is 1000 kilogram, mass of crew and passengers is 300 kilogram, and the acceleration of the helicopter is 15 meter per second square. So in the first part of the question, you have to tell the magnitude and the direction of force on the floor by the crew and passengers. Okay, So because you have to calculate force by the crew and passengers only, so we will be considering in first part the mass of crew and passengers only. Okay, so now as you know, their weight will be acting downward. So this is the weight of crew and passengers only, and a reaction would be upward, and it is accelerating with acceleration A. Now if you form the equation of motion, that will be R minus mcpg is equals to mcpa. So R will come to be m into g plus A. So therefore this reaction is nothing but the force on the floor by the crew and passengers. Okay, so m is 300, g is 10, acceleration is 15. So the answer will come to be 7500 Newton. And obviously, because this is the force by crew and passengers, therefore we have taken the mass of crew and passengers only. Now in second part, it is saying what is the action of the rotor of the helicopter on surrounding air. Now the whole helicopter is to be considered, that is mass of helicopter and mass of crew and passengers in the helicopter is to be considered now. So the same formula will be there, but now the mass will be of both of them. So again you can calculate it. The answer will come to be 32,500 Newton. And the direction of this action will be obviously downward, because when some reaction is applied, due to that reaction the helicopter will move upward. And the value of this reaction is asked in third part. So as you know, action reaction are equal in magnitude. So the magnitude will remain same, but because this action is in downward direction, so the reaction on helicopter due to surrounding air is in upward direction, because this is a reaction. Okay, so the next is question number 29. It says 10 1 rupee coins are put on top of one another on a table. Each coin has a mass of m kilograms. Give the magnitude and direction of A, the force on the seventh coin due to all coins above it, and we are counting from the bottom. See, there are 10 coins and we have to calculate the force on seventh coin, which is counted from the bottom. So now can you tell how many coins will be there upside in the upward direction of seventh coin? So there will be 8th, 9th and 10th. That means there will be 3 coins. So the weight will be due to them 3 coins on the 7th coin. So the weight will be 3m into g. So this will be the value of A part. In B part, it is asking the force on the 7th coin by the 8th coin. Again on the 8th coin, 2 coins are placed. Therefore, total if you see, again on the 7th coin, there is a weight of 3 coins. So again the answer will be 3 mg Newton. In the third part, it is saying what is the reaction of the 6th coin on the 7th coin. Okay, so now if you see for the 6th coin, upwards there are 4 coins, that is 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, and all of their weight, that is 4 mg, is acting in downward direction. Therefore there will be a reaction of the 6th coin on 7th coin in upward direction. So the reaction will be upward and the magnitude will be minus 4 mg Newton. So minus is nothing but it is showing you the opposite direction, that is upward direction, because weight is acting downward, reaction will be upwards. Or you can understand it here. See, there will be action due to all these 4 on 6th. Therefore, there will be a reaction of this 6th on 7th, which will be equal to their weight and opposite in direction. Okay. Okay, students. So next question is question number 32. It says that there is a block of mass 25 kilogram and a man is pulling this block in these two situations. Okay, then you have to tell what will be the reaction on the man in these two cases. Okay, so first of all, look at this case. The mass of the man I am taking is capital M and mass of box to be small m. So for the man, the weight will be acting downward, that is mg, and reaction by the ground will be in upward direction. In this case, the man is applying a force of, let's say, F newtons in the upward direction to lift the block. Therefore, there will be a reaction on the man in downward direction. Okay. So that means the apparent weight of the man will increase. Okay, so first of all, let us calculate the value of this force. So the force required by the man to lift the block will be 25 into 10, that is mg, that is 250 newtons. Okay, and the weight of the man is 50 into 10, that is 500 Newton. So because due to this ground there will be two reaction on it and its weight is acting downward, so its apparent weight will increase. So that will be equal to, so that reaction due to the ground will be equal to capital Mg plus small mg. So that will be 735 Newton. Now in second case, same man is applying the force but now in downward direction. So therefore in this case the apparent weight of the man will decrease and that will be capital Mg minus small mg, and that will give you 250 newtons. Okay, so because in this case the reaction force will be acting upward due to the ground. Okay, so one more thing is here. If the maximum, the question says if the maximum normal reaction yield by the floor is 700 Newton, which mode is to be adopted? See, there are two reaction forces that we have calculated, 735 Newton and 250 Newton. Now it is saying the reaction force is 700 only. That means mode B should be adopted, because if mode A is adopted and because this is more than the normal reaction, therefore it cannot be proceeded. Therefore mode second should be adopted for the smooth lifting of block. Okay, so question number 33 says there is a monkey on a rope. The mass of the monkey is given to be 40 kilograms and the tension in the rope on which he is climbing is given to be 600 newtons. Then you have to tell in which case the rope will break. If first case is if the monkey is moving upside with the acceleration of 6 meters per second. So its weight is acting downward, tension in the rope is acting upward, and monkey is going upward with acceleration a. So just form the equation of motion, that will be T minus mg is equals to ma. So from here calculate the value of T, that will come to be 640 newtons. That means this tension is greater than the bearable tension, so the rope will break down in this case. In second case, the monkey is now going downward with the acceleration of a. See, if it is going with 4 meters per second downwards, now again T and mg will remain same. So again make the equation. So that will be mg minus T is equals to ma. From here when you will get the tension, you will get 240 newtons. Now as this tension is less than 600 newtons, that means the rope will not break in this case. For C part, the monkey is moving with a uniform speed in upside direction with the speed of 5 meters per second. See, the magnitude of the speed is uniform and it is going in up direction only. That means the direction is also same. So that means we can say the velocity remains constant and therefore acceleration will come to be 0. So if acceleration is 0, that means T will be equal to mg only, and mg is nothing but 400 Newton. Again this is less than the bearable tension, so therefore the rope will also not break in this case. In T part, it is saying if the monkey is in free fall, that is its acceleration is equal to g, and as you know g is always in downward direction. So again form the equation, that is mg minus T is equals to mg. From here tension will come to be 0. That means again the rope will not break because there is no tension in the rope. Okay, so the next is question number 34. It says that there are two blocks of masses of A and B of masses 5 and 10 kilogram, and the friction of the force is given to be, coefficient of friction is given to be 0.15. Okay, so the first part of the question says a force of 200 Newton is applied horizontally on A in this direction. You have to calculate the reaction of the wall. See, 200 Newton is applied towards right and force of friction will come towards left. So the reaction by the wall will be equal to 200 minus this friction force. That is, reaction by the wall will be equal to 200 minus F. And as you know, force of friction is nothing but mu R. Mu R is nothing but mg, because we are calculating due to both of them. So therefore mass of both of them will be considered. So force of friction will come to be 22.5 Newton. So the reaction by the wall will be equal to 200 minus 22.5, which will be 177.5 Newton, and obviously the reaction due to the wall will be towards left. Okay. Second part says what are the action reaction forces between A and B. So to calculate action reaction forces between A and B, first of all let us calculate the force of friction on block A. So for calculating force of friction on block A, mu mag Solve it, you will get 7.5 Newton. So now let us calculate net force by A on B, that is FBA. This is nothing but F of force of B, force on B by A. So now can you tell force on B by A, which will that will be in which direction? See, A is pulling it in right side, so that means force on B by A will be in right direction. Okay, so and 200 Newton is applied on A. So that force on B by A will be equal to 200 minus force of friction on A, because now we are talking about A only. So that force will be equal to 200 minus force of friction on A. So the answer will be 192.5 Newton towards right, and therefore force on A by B will be having same magnitude, but it will be in opposite direction because action reaction are equal and opposite. Okay, so the next question says if the partition is removed, then what will be the action reaction forces? See, if the partition is removed, that means, can you tell what will be the force acting on it? The force acting on it will be this only, right? Because this is the 200 Newton which is applied, and this is the your friction force. So the net force acting on them will be 177.5 Newton. That is applied force minus friction force. Now due to this force, they will start moving towards right. So let us calculate the acceleration with which they be moving. So that is force upon total mass. So from here you will get the acceleration to be 11.83 meter per second square. Now let us calculate the force producing motion in body A. See, we know the mass of A and we know the acceleration with which this system is moving. So let us calculate the force producing motion in body A. That will be equal to mass of A into acceleration. That will be 59.1 Newton. Okay, so now when the partition was there, the action reaction force was coming to be 192.5 Newton. Okay, but now when your partition is removed, there is a force producing motion in body A which is 59.1 Newton. So therefore now when partition is removed, net force by A on B, that is FBA, will be equal to initial force, you can say action reaction force minus this one, 59.1. So the answer will be 133.4 Newton. Okay, so the next is question number 36. It says that there is a truck which is moving with acceleration of 2 meters per second in forward direction. Okay, so let us say the block is moving in this direction, bus, and there is a block which is kept on the truck whose weight is 40 kilogram. Okay, and it is kept at a distance of 5 centimeter from the open end of this truck. That is, it can fall from here. So you have to tell after what distance of the truck will this block fall from the truck. Okay, so now you know mass of block, force of friction is given, you know acceleration. Okay, so first of all let us calculate what is the force acting on this block. So that will be nothing but MA, that is 40 mass of block into acceleration, because block is moving with the truck with the same acceleration. So the answer will be 80 Newton. Now there is a force of friction between them, so let us calculate that. So that will be mu mg. So the force of friction will come to be 60 Newton. Now see, on this block there will be a reaction force equal to 80 Newton towards back side, and there will be a force of friction towards right side. Therefore net force will be 80 minus 60 on the block. So net force on the block will be in backward direction. So I am considering this to be backward direction. That will be 80 minus 60, that is 20 newtons. So if this is the net force, then net acceleration of the block will be 20 upon 40, that is F by m. That will be 0.5 meter per second square. So let us calculate what will be the time required by the block to cover these 5 centimeters. So you know the acceleration and you know the distance to be 5. So use this equation, s is equals to ut plus half at square. Initially the block is at rest, so this term will be 0. Distance is 5, half acceleration is 0.5 into t square. So from here time will come to be 4.47 seconds. Okay, so now the truck, let us say truck travels x meters in this much time. So easily you can now calculate the distance traveled by the truck by using the same equation. Again u will be 0. So s is equals to ut plus half a t square. So from here you can say initial distance is nothing but the distance traveled from the initial point is 19.98 meters.